Did you know the average mortgage broker only does $4 million of sales in a year? That's crazy low. We want to raise the bar for all mortgage brokers by taking what we have learned in 3 years of running I Love Mortgage Brokering and applying it to a small business to see what will happen. Join Jewels Ferris through the ups and downs as she breaks the mold and attempts to turn $8 million a year into $100. This is the $100 million journey.
Hi, I'm Jewels Ferris, and I'm a mortgage broker with Canadian Mortgage Experts. With doing the BC Home Partnership Grant to bring it to 10%, reducing 70/70 office taxes, it brings it below 39, you got our deal done. I've been a mortgage broker for 3 years. I was in the customer service industry for about 10 years, working in a restaurant as a manager and server. And I had a gentleman that owns a brokerage in Kelowna come in one night. I served him, and he came up to me at the end of the night, gave me his business card, and said that he was really impressed with my personality and how I handled the situation all night, and thought I would do really well in this industry, and if I wanted a career change, that he had a job waiting for me. I knew I wanted to do something different, but I didn't know what yet, and that opportunity fell into my lap, and I jumped in it and took the course right away. And when actually just before finishing my exam, I volunteered with that brokerage, one of their top brokers, and yeah, the rest is history.
I Love Mortgage Brokering, episode 157.
Hi, my name is Scott. So I'm a mortgage broker for the last 11 years. For the last 3 years, I've been doing a podcast, interviewing all the top mortgage brokers in the country and even in the US. Hey, Ryan, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Scott, for having me.
So can you tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got into the mortgage business? Looking under the hood of their business, figuring out what works, what doesn't. And it's been a really cool exercise to actually kind of say, hey, look, this is cool, this works for this person, and this person over here has something similar. The vision behind why we started I Love Mortgage Brokering was we felt that there's a lot of smart people out there who've already solved a lot of the problems people are having in their business. And the challenge has been just finding the solution. So the solutions are out there. So there's no problem someone's having in their business today that someone else hasn't already solved. 4 years is, I think, very doable, but maybe we can do it faster. I've been in the mortgage business for 11 years, brokering, and I have not been brokering actively in the last 6 months. So 6 months ago, I found a business partner that could take over my business, and since then, the mortgage business has actually been doing better because it's her full focus, and then I'm able to go and find all these great concepts and ideas and then apply them to her business to help her grow it.
I've known Scott in the mortgage industry for a few years through his podcasts and at mortgage events, and always had a lot of respect for him and what he did in the industry. And Scott approached me in November of last year and asked me to join forces with him and help him with his book of business, and was very excited and immediately intrigued by the opportunity, and basically started right away, and it's worked out really well.
She has a tremendous amount of drive. She is really good with people, and really the key piece is she's actually very coachable. And so one of the things I've noticed, and I think if I have to be honest, I'm a little bit like this, is that I'll go out and I'll hear a good idea, but I'll still want to do it my own way. And Jewels is the kind of person who's like, okay, I'm excited. If you give me an idea or a concept, I will just take it and run with it.
Oh, I'm surprised. I figured it would be a bit hotter there, but.
When Scott approached me about the $100 million journey, it's something that we had talked about before, and was our ultimate goal for our business, was to grow to that point. But when he approached me with documenting the $100 million journey and being followed by cameras, yeah, it was a bit of a shock at first, but I was really excited about it. I think that it's great. I love sharing any knowledge that I have with other people, and I love teaching and helping other people. So what better way to do that than to document my successes throughout this journey, as well as my challenges, so people can learn from that.
Looked it over last night. Everything looks good. The one thing that I would say is, I want to make sure that everything's totally filled in.
With the $100 million journey, I think it's going to be possible because Jewels has a personality that says, hey, if we find something that works, she's going to put everything behind it. She's not going to reinvent the wheel. And some of the most successful loan officers and mortgage brokers I spoke to, they went through a period of time where in their business where they were trying to recreate everything themselves. And it was only when they said, wait a second, stop trying to reinvent the wheel. I'm just going to go take what works and I'm going to apply it. And they all of a sudden, it just clicked for them. And so that requires humility. And so I think, certainly when I started out, I don't think I had the humility to think that I could apply those things, versus now I'm like, wait a second, it's way more efficient. It's way smarter to learn from someone else than try to figure it out on your own.
I love having Scott as a business partner. It's a match made in heaven. It couldn't have worked out any better. And I think, like Scott always says, he's at a point right now in this industry where he doesn't really want to do the mortgage side of things and the files. And I'm so excited about them, and I love it. I'm so driven to do exactly that he and I work really well together. So I'm taking on the client interaction and getting those files completed. And Scott is taking on his 11 years of experience and his, however many interviews on I Love Mortgage Brokering, and helping me so that I can be better at what I do and grow my business. And I'm so honored to have the opportunity to work with him and do that. I'm
not the person who wants to be on the field, that wants to be the quarterback. I would much rather be the person on the sidelines who's coming up with a strategy, putting the right players on that. I actually get more enjoyment from that than I would from the actual playing, even though there's a ton of celebrity that comes from playing the position. I could ask her, what do you think I need to put in here? What I wanted to see was the application of the knowledge. So it's one thing to say, okay, Mr. Whoever, you did a fantastic job building your business, these things work for you, but will they still work today? Who knows? Can someone else apply them and make them work? Who knows? And so I think by going out, finding these awesome concepts and strategies, and then applying them in real time to her business, we're going to be able to document and see what actually is what's going to work and what's not. And I can tell you that I actually don't think, I know for a fact that everything's not going to work the way we expect. However, that's part of the fun, part of the ride is that we're going to it's a journey. It's not a straight line. It's going to be left, right, who knows, but we'll keep course correcting. And we'll share the ups and downs of the things that we're doing, stuff that works, stuff that doesn't, because you can learn from things that don't work as well. And so we're going to do that throughout this, but I'm excited about where it can go. If you have the right people in place and the right strategies, I do believe that you can get there.
Do you remember, I feel like we've done some deals where credit unions have allowed us to value the entire acreage as opposed to just 10. Do you remember?
I think what excites me about the $100 million journey is just the journey itself. I love to be challenged. I would never want to get to a certain volume of business or a certain place in my business where I'm comfortable and then just, coast from there. I always want to be growing and changing and evolving, and I love being challenged. So going on this journey is definitely going to be a challenge, and that excites me too. I don't think I was always this driven as a child. Certainly in high school, things came really easily to me, and I didn't have to try to, get those B's or whatever. And so I didn't put in the effort that I think I should have, and looking back, wish I had as a young adult. What changed for me was my mom got really sick actually in my early 20s, and watching her struggle and watching this disease that she had take away her ability to do so many things that she cherished in her life, and to see her wanting nothing more in the world than to do those things but being unable to do it, changed my life and made me realize how much I was taking for granted, and throughout her sickness wanting to make sure that I was a better person as a result. And she passed away, and now I live my life and I take every opportunity I can, and I don't want to waste this life, and I want to do the absolute best I can and take care of people. And yeah, that's kind of how I got the drive that I have today.
This lender did not accept my conditions.
I think the biggest fear with this $100 million journey is, what if we don't succeed? And now we've gone around and we've posted it all over social media, and I've told all my friends and family, and they've watched this journey, and we don't make it.
I feel like my reputation's on the line because I'm the guy who's gone out and looked under the hood of all these businesses and come back and said, hey, I think we can build this. We can build this rocket ship, but we haven't done it. I think it's doable. However, it doesn't mean that it's for sure, and it certainly doesn't mean it's not going to take a lot of work. This is not going to be done in 6 months. There's just no way. So we are expecting this to be a marathon, and we're totally okay with it being a marathon, but we're not expecting this to be an overnight thing. But we are going to continually push and adjust and learn and adapt to get to that goal. in our market, I believe that we're going to see a turn, like it's going to slow down. In the next 18 to 24 months, we've been going on a really good run in real estate. I think that we're going to see it slow down. And so we're going to hit headwinds that I don't think we can even wrap our head around yet. So it means we're going to have to work extra hard and be more creative to hit that number. As long as it's ethical and moral, we will do everything in our power to push to that $100 million mark, like everything we possibly can.